Yes, people, welcome back to Man Knows Football. You're here with myself, Guni, and Lewis is back yet again to the channel. Thank you very much for coming back. Why does my camera look like that? What is going on with Guni's camera? It's just gone to this weird ass shape. Like, OBS, can you just give me a break?
It's normal to me.
Just give me a break. Nah, it's the artwork.
Oh, I see it. I
There we
see
go.
it.
There we go. I fixed it now. We are back. We are looking presentable yet again. Yeah. Didn't last long. OBS thought that they could screw me over, but they don't know. I've evolved. My powers have got stronger. Haha. But yeah, we're here with Lewis. Thank you very much, bro, for joining us again. There's been a lot of news that's happened since we've last been on the channel, my guy. And I think Man City are at the forefront of all that news. And for once, it's good to hear it. Well, depending how you see it, it's good to hear a team that's being sanctioned outside of Chelsea. For goodness sake, do you know what I mean? But boy,
Yeah, it's not nice when it ain't when it's you lot now, is it? It's peak.
yep, that's how the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid. Do you know what I mean? You can sit there, poke fingers at other teams and laugh, but when it happens to you, it's squeaky bum time. But in all seriousness, yeah, because obviously us as fans, we know what it feels like in it, like to be going through that level of uncertainty. The first thing that I want to say is this, is Man City fans, you might get bantered a little bit by me, but not as hardcore as some people, but I know what you're going through. Just to know, like, just to be in that place of limbo and uncertainty with your club, it just must be a horrible feeling right now. And especially since their charges are a lot worse than ours. A lot worse than ours. We're talking about 101 potential violations, allegedly, that they've
I didn't
done
even
this.
see what the violations were. I just heard the number and thought, raw. You lot have done it.
I just know it was a hell of a lot than what we were doing. That's what I know. But yeah, it's the situation with them is not looking good. Pep Guardiola has come out and said several things about it. Whether he's going to stick to his word remains to be seen. One of the things that he said is, if the club have lied to me, I will walk the next day. Now, it's interesting how Pep's going to play this. Because now that he said that, if he doesn't walk, then the club haven't lied to him, then he must know what was going on beforehand. Then if that's the case, is he implicit in what's going on and should he be sanctioned? Or should Pep just get up and walk?
Um, I think it says a statement now if he does it, but I also think it's just straight up unlikely because they're in the middle of a season and that's just out of nowhere. I think maybe if he was to know about it and if he had a part to play, maybe. But if he was just taking extra, I don't know. Because that's the whole financial and legal side of things. I don't know what you're culpable for and what you're not, but I have a feeling everyone is. Like Juve, they took Paratici down as well, and he was at Tottenham when they actually took them down. So all based on what you heard in the past. And I remember, like, years ago, when they beat Watford in the FA Cup, I think there was a question asked to Pep about getting money from two different accounts and stuff like that, and he just quieted away the question. I don't even remember too deep about the topic because it was so vague, but now you're seeing this come into play. I don't know. He might have known about it. I feel like if you're someone of Pep Guardiola's level, you'll know the ins and outs of the club. So he probably was aware.
Yeah, I think so as well. He blatantly knew what was going on. But I mean, all this stuff dates back to Mancini because we were hearing that this guy got backhanders of like £30 million from different companies in payments and things like that. And it's just, do you know where I feel it went left for City? Is honestly, with the way the game is so corrupt now, I don't think the Premier League or any governing body really gave a shit until they stepped outside of a comfort zone. Now, let me furthermore explain what I mean by that, because some might be thinking, Guni, what are you talking about? The incident that I'm referring to is the declarations of revenue per season. Manchester City decided to declare revenues higher than Manchester United, higher than Liverpool, I don't know if it's higher or just below Real Madrid, but to even declare revenues higher than Chelsea's, and we're not really looking at that Manchester United, Liverpool level yet, it's still utterly ridiculous because they've only been on the map for 5 minutes. These are clubs that have got, at bare minimal, for us, we've had a decade of dominant success where we have dominated and just won continually, and we've had history in doing so before this takeover. So we already had a bit of a fan base. Man City, I'm not saying that they didn't have fans, but to globally be competing and beating Manchester United and Liverpool, I think it was a step too far for the authorities, and they said, nah, these men are just acting kind of crazy. What do you reckon?
I think so. The financial side of football's never really been my strong point, but from the looks of it, like, yeah, City just kind of. I actually have no clue what were the charges. What were the full charges
All right, let
based
me
on?
let me get up Sky Sports. People, I won't be able to get this up on the screen because it's just one long thing on this OBS thing, as
Yeah,
you lot know.
OBS. That's just
Yeah, but I will do some reading. I'll do some elegant Guni reading for you. Yeah, you can.
because all I saw was the 100 charges, and
Well,
that was
this,
just it for me.
this this is the thing. Is like the sources that I'm getting, they explain a little bit, but it's still very sparse. There's nothing that is like narrowed down. So this article says, Man City charged by the Premier League, media reactions after unprecedented charges leveled against league champions. Man City are facing 101 charges of alleged rule breaking from the Premier League. So you see what that means? See what I mean? That's very sparse. There's so many rules in the Prem. Which ones are broken? Ranging from assisting league investigations, profitability and sustainability to manager remuneration and accuracy of financial information. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 different things that we know about. And it goes on to say, as City face 101 charges of alleged rule breaking from the Premier League, the British press and columnists have reacted to the unprecedented event. So I don't want the press reaction. I want to know what's happened.
Yeah, let us know what he's done.
Right. So basically, we're not going to know the charges until they've had their summon, I believe. I think they're going to be summoned, and then the case is going to be read out to them, and then the charges that they're facing. Once that's done, let's see if that will then become public information, so we've got a clearer picture. But what I can say is, from what I'm seeing, is at least we knew what we was being charged for before like all of this was coming out. We already kind of knew. This one here looks like there's been several just mad things that have happened at the club. Because if they're just being as quiet as they are and they're not really going into too much detail as to what charges they're going to be facing or what they're being accused of like that, then it must be something bad.
Yeah, I think with the amount of charges as well, like, you're not going to beat 101 charges, are you? You're going to
No.
be culpable for something. We had a 2-year transfer ban. No, we had a 2-window transfer ban for, I think, 15 violations? Or was
Yeah.
it even that?
It was.
So God knows how long they could potentially be looking at a ban for.
And remember when we were saying like 15, like that's a lot. We were saying that's a lot, but 101, flipping hell, that's all mad. Moodit says, I think all this discussion on City is a bit overblown at this stage. It will be a while before we get anything solid. I don't think there's any point to speculate. No, there's none, and that's why I've done this video, because as Chelsea fans, we've been through it. We've been on the other side of it where, you know, nobody's looking at facts. They're just going with their emotion and wishful thinking, saying, Chelsea are finished, you know, administration, relegation, all of this stupidness. But this is why I'm here to talk. It's like, is what's coming out in social media really believable? Or is it just sensationalism and a lot of opposite fans that want to see this club fail? And I think it's more of that. In terms, Lewis,
That's why you got to read between the lines of a lot
yeah,
of those articles.
yeah, and I mean, in terms of what I think is going to happen to City or when it's going to happen to City, I'll be honest, I don't think we'll see anything directly this season. I'll be surprised if we see something at the start of next season, but I think most likely it will be a thing where the season after next, we might see them with like a 15-point reduction, a transfer ban for several windows, and a massive fan. I don't see them getting relegated or expelled from the Premier League. They're worth too much money at the end of the day.
Exactly. They're not gonna. You could see them maybe get a relegation if it is that deep. Plus, that would still make headlines and they go straight back up. So it'd be good if you're talking about the controversy, the league, and everything like that. But anything could happen. It could just be a fine. They could beat all the cases, or it could be long for them. Ain't got a clue, but we have to see.
Yep. Either way, it's not our problem. But let's just hope they get, you know, some fair punishment, because we seem to always get the short stick, bruv, the short straw, bruv, every single time. But Yassin saying if Potter got sacked, the return of Thomas Tuchel is possible. Now, this is a good way to segment into the next topic. Yeah, I'm not going to dwell on Manchester City too long. What I am going to do is I'm going to let the information come out slowly so we can get more of an factual understanding of what's going on in the case before I talk about that any further. But Graham Potter, we saw something in the Fulham game that was a bit random to some, but was very easily explainable to others. But to me, I'm very much in between. Hansi Flick was present at Fulham. It is said that he was there to check out Leno, because obviously Neuer's got an injury. But for me, I saw, and I know you saw, the directors going over to him to greet him and to have a conversation with him. Now, do you feel in the back of your mind, despite the board coming out and saying, oh, Potter's safe, it's long term, we're going to give him this season, blah, blah, blah. I can't help but think that they've got a contingency plan ready, and it is actually Hansi Flick. I'm just going to come out and say it. I might be completely wrong, a conspiracy theory, but you get me? We're here to discuss. We're here to talk about it. What's your thoughts on it? Do you reckon I'm looking into it too much?
I think it's a bit too much. I don't know. I think I get the directors going up to him would give you a sort of a look, but that's like the equivalent if your girl sees you talking to another girl and it's like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? We're just talking to somebody. Like, it's not that deep. That's the way I see it, innit? Like, you know what these lot have been like? They've been spending the whole summer just trying to network and just meet people and get their getting their names through the door and everything.
Yeah.
I think this is another one. Like, Germany managers here, introduce yourselves. And I think that's just it. They were just being hospitable. Guys just there to see Leno, see Havertz, and yeah, I don't think there's anything with him going to Chelsea unless he's given up the Germany job.
Well, it's not like we can't attract this guy to come to Chelsea. It's not like we can't afford it. And I think that if we did offer him something concrete, especially with the project that we've got, I don't think he says no. But again, people, this is not me saying that he was there to take over Graham Potter. It's not. I just wanted to have a discussion. But what I strongly believe, right, what I really strongly believe, and what I have a feeling inside my heart, that man is the contingency plan. Yeah, because the results can go left for this season from what we understand. But obviously, you got to keep us away from relegation. And even from where we are now, we can't stay here where we're at too long before the board are going to react. But for me, I ain't going to lie to you. Before Graham Potter came in, I was screaming Hansi Flick would be my first choice. 100%. I think he's a brilliant manager. He's won a treble. He knows how to build a squad as well. He knows how to identify talent too. And he knows he's got a very good system. Now, obviously, with Germany, they didn't perform very well in the World Cup. But I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt. I've seen this guy, what he can do over 38 games in the season, as well as the Champions League, as well as cup competitions. He's won all of them. That's a winner right there. That's a winner right there, and that's a manager that comes in immediately and commands respect from players. Something that a lot of our Chelsea fans feel that Graham Potter hasn't got. Now, why did I bring that up? Because of this. Chelsea Ultra, big up yourself for the comment. This psychology coach is the board showing that they don't believe Potter alone is enough. The guy isn't a manager. He's basically a PE teacher employed to be the calm face of things. Hold on, Lewis. Alonso, come here for a second, mate. Over here. Come here. Over here. Geezer, how many times have I told you, stop coming past the camera when I'm recording? Yeah? You guys making up all this noise. Say hello to everyone. Just wave.
Hi.
Big up, mate.
Yeah, that's Alonso. You can see his ear. Oh, now you can see more of his face. It's my son.
Big up, my guy.
My favourite guy in the world. You get me? So off you go, please. Can you stop slamming your door, making so much noise? I'm trying to record here, yeah?
I'm not slamming the door.
Well, someone is. Is that your sister?
I think so.
Probably. Off you go. Thank you, mate. Love you. Just had to do it. I just had to do it, bruv. You get me? But
Great little intro.
yeah, it's so this behavior guy, this behavior from the All Blacks and all that stuff. Is that a bad sign for you? Because I've got my feeling about it, and I think it's been taken out of proportion a little bit too much. But I just want to know how you feel about that.
I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. I think people are just twisting it just for a Potter narrative. Like, oh, he's got a big mentality problem. We need someone else to do that for him. How many managers have we had that have spoken about the mentality issue in the squad? Go back to Jose, Conte,
Mourinho,
all of them.
Sarri, Lampard, Tuchel, now Potter. Conte as well. Yeah, that's 5 managers. Now, this is the thing.
In a row, too.
Out of those 5 managers, how many of them have won major trophies? Mourinho has, Conte has, Tuchel has. Who else am I missing out? To be fair,
Sarri and Lampard hasn't.
Sarri won the Europa. I'm not going to count that. But still, that's a lot of managers saying the same thing.
That is a cultural problem right there. And we're now going to try and start digging out the club because they brought in somebody to try and fix that.
That's
like, guys,
true.
come on. Like, it's another one of those where it's like, we're just being angry for the sake of being angry. Like, I think this is a good move for us. Weed out the players with no mentality and no backbone and turn the rest into champions. Why are we mad? No reason.
And it's not, and let's have it right. This wouldn't be a unique case. I've seen Manchester City do something similar. I've seen Liverpool do something similar. So that means it's something that is, you know, it's done. It's practiced amongst football teams, and it's nothing different. Now, Chelsea Ultra makes a good point again. He says Potter is supposed to have numerous degrees in psychology and emotional intelligence excellence. That's a fair point. But also understand that he can't do everything as manager. Now, I'm not trying to use that as a cop-out, but that's because, you know, that's why you got attacking coaches, you got defensive coaches, you got goalkeeping coaches, you've got sports psychologists there as well. So this really, to me, kind of fits the bill in terms of the psychological aspect of it. I'm not really overlooking it, but
it's just adding another member to the coaching squad. Like, literally, this should be such a no story. But people have decided to turn it into a big issue because they're talking about Potter's mentality. I think this is just a perfect answer. If you got a problem with his mentality, you won't have a problem with someone who specializes in it.
yeah,
No problem. I'm interested to see how Chelsea perform with this guy. I want to see if there's any changes. If we start seeing players actually play with a bit of backbone, we'll have to see.
Yeah, and chat, don't get on to Chelsea Ultra. He's a real one still. I've got a lot of time for him. But so Chelsea Ultra, I do hear what you're saying. I hear you, and I hear where the concern is coming from. But I just think that we've got to allow Potter to do what he thinks is best. If he feels like he's paying too much attention to the psychological things and perhaps not focusing too much on the football, then this might not be a bad thing. You know, there might be, I'm not saying that's the reason, but that definitely might be one of the reasons. So for me, hiring somebody like this is not really much of an indication that the manager is incapable of managing the squad. I think it's just another alternative for him to try. It's like Lewis said, 5 previous managers have complained about mentality. So obviously it's a squad problem. And if that's the case, it's a deep-rooted problem because 5 years in football is a very long time. So why not get somebody who's an expert who spent most of their career solving problems like this? I personally don't see there's anything wrong with it. Because if we get closer to top 4 and Graham Potter says at the end of the season, well, if it wasn't for this guy, I'm pretty sure you lot are going to say it was a masterstroke signing.
Exactly. I think everyone's negative for the sake of negativity because of where we are at. And I get it. We are 9th. It's been absolutely terrible this season, but we don't have to dig everything out. I think this is a bit of a positive from us personally, but we have to see if it breeds any results, and that's all speculative.
Yeah, you see Ben as well. Big up Ben Highsmith as well. Big up yourself, my brother.
Big up.
Arteta did the same thing with Arsenal and our fan base went crazy, but now looking at it, he made the right decision. So look, there you go. Look, that
Loki, we're also following the Arteta mold as well with Potter, so might as well do that too.
yeah, and that's another
Much I
thing.
hate to say it.
That's another thing our fans have got to understand. Although I still stand by, I still very much stand by the fact I think Hansi Flick was there as, there's more to what meets the eye. That's what I still think. But I do think as of now, Potter's job is relatively safe. I'd be very surprised if he was sacked this season. I'd be less surprised if we saw something similar to what we saw with Thomas Tuchel. Came out of nowhere. And
I
he's
don't
out
think we get that
early
unless you
next
see a
season.
massive drop.
Yeah, I think I can see that happening sooner rather than later at the beginning of next season. Because look, we've heard them come out and they've said things like he's safe for this season. They want to see how he does with the rebuild, and there's no panic, etc., etc. But once that summer transfer window is closed and we play our first 3, 4, 5 games, I really think the ownership are gonna look with a lot more scrutiny than they did this season. And perhaps if by then we're not seeing a brand of football that's looking progressive, that's going to move us up the table and perhaps have us compete, it's going to be out of the door. I reckon it'll be gone. But let's see. As of now, I think he's all right. His next challenge, Lewis, is going to be West Ham away this weekend. Relegation fighting.
ground.
Yep, relegation fighting West Ham. How are you feeling going into this game? Now, I know it's only Tuesday. The game's on Saturday. There's a lot that can happen between now and then. Injuries, this, that, and the other. You never know. But based on the state of the squad now, bear in mind we've got João Felix returning for this. Reece James was able to have a 60-minute run out in the last game, so perhaps he might be able to play a bit longer. Kovacic coming back from the knock, I'm hearing. I don't know how true that is. I just saw this. I saw it from several other accounts, nothing official. But I seen like he could be back for the game this weekend, yeah. So those names there,
That might be a bit better.
yeah, they make me feel a little better. But let me know what you think.
Cover I wouldn't mind, but then I'm deeping that he never really recovers well. He needs time to get into the game. I don't know if starting him would even be the right move for us. Ruben could potentially play a full 90 by that point. Maybe Lewis Hall.
Yeah.
Just you can't have Enzo Gallagher mount again. You can't.
I personally, I feel, yeah, you're right. We can't see Mount and Gallagher, but what I think is going to happen is we're going to see one or the other, especially if Kovacic is back. I think we'll see one or the other. Or what's going on with Loftus-Cheek, by the way? Is he back?
He was fit. I swear he was meant to be fit for the last game, but he couldn't play a full 90. So with that in mind, like he should be a bit sharper now.
Interesting, because it might be a Ruben, like Joey's saying there, it might be a Ruben, Felix and Enzo thing in that midfield. But I test DM, thank you very much for the super chat. If Luis Enrique speaks English, get him in. Not a fan, mate. Not going to lie. The guy's got no plan B. No plan B whatsoever. Once it goes tits up, once plan A goes tits up, there's nothing left in plan B. And I saw that in its abundance at Barcelona, and I saw that and I saw some of that at the World Cup as well. I don't want that at Chelsea. We saw what happened with Conte. Once that plan A's out the window, stuck. Don't want that. Absolutely don't want that. That's not for me. I will seriously question Potter if Mount and Havertz start. Felix is back and Fofana can start up top. I think this is fair. And I know I've been defending this guy a lot, but I think this comment here is fair because now it's coming down to personnel selections and we've got non-injured players coming back into this team.
I would it's either Fofana or Oba personally up top. It's either one or the other. It just can't be Havertz. Mount needs to be benched. I think the attacking midfield three speaks for itself. Felix, Mudryk, and Madueke on the right, and I think we're all fine with that.
Not Sterling on the right?
Top. He wasn't even that great coming off the bench.
I don't think
Meanwhile,
so
I saw from Madueke, instant impact. So I'd give him a run out based on that.
In
I
terms,
don't know. Sterling could go into the lineup. Maybe he'd be better with better players around him. I don't know.
I have to agree with you on the Madueke one because I think with him is his directness is gonna help quite a bit in terms of him beating players and getting in between the lines and that, and even behind the lines, bro. I think he can help do that quite a bit. I like what I saw from him. I saw a lot of rawness still. There's still a lot that needs to be done in his development, but I think he can be thrown right in this game. You know, I really do think he can. I wouldn't be upset if he started this game.
Yeah, to me, it's just more Mount, Havertz, Gallagher. Do not be starting them at all.
If Kovacic is fit, Gallagher can't start. Enzo's Enzo, he starts. Zakaria apparently is back in training. So whether he's fit enough to start is interesting. Now, if he is, that proves to be really, really something because what I've not wanted is Graham Potter getting used to Enzo playing that number 5 position, sorry, that number 6 position and saying, do you know what? This guy actually, he looks like he can do a job there. Nope, I don't want him to get used to that. So if he's fit, you bring him, Enzo plays more advanced next to Kovacic, and we really start to see what this player is about, in my honest opinion. But
I don't know. Kovacic straight off injury is just a bit worrying for me.
yeah, he's a bit of a liability, isn't he? Like
He's not even been great this season in general.
But then to be fair, Kovacic, he's been rust back every time with injury.
That's why I think this time at least don't put Chukwuemeka or put in Hall if you need to or something. And I think if you got Zakari and Enzo there, that should be good enough to work.
I don't disagree.
Because here's the thing, the midfield's never going to look good anyway. It's just more about what would be your fittest 11, I guess, with the most quality. And then you try and work from there.
And I mean, good point here, Diego C. Palace. West Ham will probably fill the midfield of Lucas Paqueta and Rice. Yeah, for me, if Zachariah's fit, he's got to play. We've got to have a technical midfield against these man here. Because one thing about Rice that I like is his ability to sniff danger. And to sniff counter-attacks and that. This is not going to be an easy game at all, people, because West Ham, they're hovering dangerously above that relegation zone. But we need to get 3 points, though, Lewis. And this is my point. Graham Potter is now, when these players come in, he's now running out of excuses in terms of the wrong team selection.
Exactly. Because we can all see what the issues are.
Yeah, everyone can see it. Everyone off the pitch can see it, and that becomes a problem. If the manager don't see it, then it's definitely still a problem. Yang Thuggy says, is Kante still injured? He's not going to be back till March, mate. Forget about N'Golo until at least March.
Yeah, and even then, do not be throwing that guy straight into a full 90.
Yep.
Don't even piss me off like that.
Mo saying Pogba won the league at the Etihad. I seen the Liverpool fans and the the Liverpool Man United fans calling for Man City to have their title stripped. Do you think they should do that and reward it to the team that finished second place? I personally don't.
I think that would be so pointless. Like, who would even celebrate that? What, do you give them medals? Like, here's your medal from a league title you finished second in, but you actually won 9 years after the fact. There you go. We'll post it to you.
Yeah, and then,
there's no point. Just give them, let them keep the titles and everything. If you want to do a points deduction, do it for next season. I'd say this season, but like I'm trying to have some hope that Arsenal won't win this league. So maybe not this season. But there's no point giving away old titles and everything. I think it's pointless.
No, there's and this is the thing is like, you know, naturally we're only thinking about the top end of the table. What about the teams that were relegated as a result to Man City results? What are they gonna say?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So it's
remember Man City pumped Swansea 5-0 when they were Centurions after they won the league.
You see what I'm saying? So now, if those teams say, well, if you're going to take away the Prem from them, what's going to happen to us when we was relegated or whatever? It's just like, it's opening a whole different kind of worms.
All right, 17-18, we lost 6 points to City. Give that back to us, we make top 4. But then what happens with the Champions League? Because we could have won that. You see all the what if. Just leave it.
Yeah,
leave it.
right now. And this is where it's got to be reflected in the punishment now. because you can't do anything retrospectively at all. You can't. Because, again, it just opens too many cans of worms. So this is why I'm a fan of Man City getting a harsh punishment. Because what we
Give him
done,
like a -30 deduction or something.
because what we done was fuckery. Of course it was. The way we was tapping up these young players and giving, the brown envelopes and that. So to say to the parents and stuff, yeah, we got clocked for it. But these guys, they was just acting like it was the Wild West and they had no respect for nothing. Nothing. So that punishment for me, if they get, like I said, I don't think they get relegated. I don't think they get expelled from the Premier League. But if it was the case where they did get relegated, I wouldn't feel sorry for them. I just really wouldn't, because they've cheated their way to where they are. There's no other way of doing it. There's no other way of doing
Plus, they'll
it.
go back up anyway, so it's like, it's not even that deep of a punishment. It won't hit them in like 5 years from the fact.
Relegate them quick if they're found guilty. If City do face punishment,
Relegate them for a laugh. That would be hilarious. Let's see how many fans actually turn up next season.
M3 says, if City do face punishment, I see it happening like USC, the US Championships in 04-05. They were just voided and that season had an asterisk on it. Flip it now.
Oh, so just take it away and leave asterisks. Now that would be a bigger punishment.
It'll be an embarrassment. It will be a huge
Like,
embarrassment.
5 league titles just struck off like that. And hey, we go back to having the second most league titles. So fine by me.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Fine by
Yeah,
me.
for me, I would absolutely love that. Now, I've seen people in socials talking already about Pep Guardiola coming to Chelsea Football Club. Now, obviously, naturally, because the thing is as soon as this story happened, I knew exactly what was going to happen, especially with Chelsea fans and especially with our owner, Todd Bowley. Now, this is where the conversation gets interesting, because Todd Bowley is known to want superstar profiles. Todd Bowley is known to want winners. This guy potentially could be available. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, he loves City too much. He wouldn't do that. I don't know. You're in London. You've got a project that needs taken up from the ground. And there's a lot of money available for you to spend. I don't know about you, Lewis. It sounds to me like Pep Guardiola's cup of tea when you look at the previous projects that he's had.
I mean, if Guardiola wanted it, thank you, Paul. I had a lot of trust and time for you. It is what it is.
Yeah, you gotta go.
He's out.
It's one of them ones. Yeah, it's one of those ones where, look, again, people, Lewis isn't Potter out either. I'm not Potter out. It's not that. But
if Pep's on the line, brother.
Yeah,
sorry, I am Potter out. Sorry, bro.
It's a scenario where you guys will understand. It's a scenario where, like, you know, if a 22-year-old Messi became available, yeah, and on that right wing, I'm trying to think of a right winger that is just sick. Or up front, let's say Messi was the striker, 22 years old, and up front we already had Erling Haaland. You still have to go and get him. You just have to. And this is a similar situation with Pep Guardiola. You just have to do it. Sir Alex Ferguson once said, there are certain players that you know you don't need, but when they become available, you have to buy them. This is the situation with Pep. 100% the situation with Pep.
If he's there, put everything in that. He wouldn't have done it with Roman initially. That's why he kept saying no to us, because he didn't think he'd get time to build a project. Here, he will. And he'll get all the funds that he needs. And you want to talk about a statement signing by Bowley, there you are.
There you go. Yeah, and again, I don't think that's too far-fetched. The only thing really that would be stopping that is whether Pep wants to take a break. Because remember, he has been at Man City for a while. And maybe he might want to take that sabbatical. But please, people, do not get it twisted. Although this is a conspiracy theory, I'm very, very much in the camp of I'm 80% sure that a phone call between Todd Bowley and, at bare minimum, Pep Guardiola's camp has been made. Guarantee it. A conversation's been had. Just an inquiry to see Wagwan. Because if that was the case where, you know, Pep became available and he was interested in a project, I'm with Lewis. I'm sorry, Potter. No disrespect.
I'm sure Bowley would have gone down to like the dressing room or something for the City game. Give a little introduction or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we got one of these directors anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's like, I no disrespect, big man, but yeah,
Peace.
we do need him. What are you talking about? Potter is a loser. He's never won anything.
Not yet.
It's not even
Not
funny. I'm just fucking
Not yet.
allow my guy, man. Allow him for now. Yeah, Pep. This same Pep Guardiola that we want at this club, that you'd want at the club. I'm telling you, he would struggle with what we have. Yeah, just wait.
I
Guni,
trust his talent ID. I will say that.
Guni is gonna
He won't get us a bum, and he won't get us any roadrunners.
Guni is gonna listen, man. Gooni's gonna be patient, but you see, come the next season, once that whistle's blown for the first kickoff of Chelsea's season, I am going to be on this guy like white on rice. I promise you, I'm not gonna let nothing
I
breathe.
want results.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let nothing breathe. I am going to be. The standards are going back to where they were. Right now, I'm on vacation, but yeah, soon come. Soon come. Hey, you guys, allow Chelsea Ultra. He's just that he was on my case, and I stop reading. Yeah, man, allow him. If he's typing in, look. Allow Chelsea Ultra. He's one of our own over here, man. We all love Chelsea. We all support the club. Allow him. Yeah, allow the insults. Chelsea Ultra. I think everyone's just annoyed that you're typing in caps. It's not bothering me. It's not bothering me at all. Me personally, I'm a troll. I like to rattle people. So
I
I'm
think
not
he said
bothered.
earlier it was because of a stroke or something. So
Huh?
leave it, guys. I think he said earlier it was because of a stroke. I was reading the comments. So guys, leave it.
Yeah, man.
If I'm wrong, let me know. But I think I saw him say that earlier in the comments.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
I hope it isn't a stroke as well. I really hope not.
Yeah, now I'm just going through the comments. Potter is not a tactical manager. He's dead food, fam. But it's not fair. But this is the thing. Everywhere he's gone, he started slow. He has to, but I get it. You can't do it at Chelsea. Expectations are different. You get me? Okay. All right, then. So, yeah, people them allow him in it. Yeah.
Leave it.
People them allow him in it. So let Chelsea and Chelsea Ultra, you already know, my bro. Like I see your comments in the videos. I respond all of that stuff. We got love for everybody in here. So big up Chelsea Ultra in the building. But yeah, Graham Potter for me, job safe right now. Could two contingency plans, Hansi Flick and Pep Guardiola, really be in the back of Todd Bowley's mind? We never know. We will find out in the future. But what needs to happen is Potter needs to start, one, making better decisions, and two, he's got to start getting results soon. Otherwise, he can find himself, see you later, out the door. And before we go, Uncle Jesters FC with the comment.
Big up, Jesters.
Yeah, come on, bro. Yeah, Uncle Jesters. The two-man panel we didn't know we needed. Big up my guys. Don't think Pep will jump right back into it. Maybe a year off. Yeah, I agree. I think he's definitely going to take a sabbatical. It will be a Michael Edwards thing. It's like, no, thank you. I'm tired. I just want to take my time off. Do you know what I mean? And I'd understand.
I Tester. Keep Potter till then. See if Pep wants to come back to the Chelsea afterwards.
But this is the thing. It would make more sense because now if next season don't go the way things were supposed to go and he doesn't reach the expectations, then he's going to have to get out of here. Then Pep becomes available.
And by then, we already have a squad. And it's just like, okay, Pep, Potter, you've done the best you can. You've helped us build a squad. It is what it is.
Yeah, see, everyone's saying the same thing. YB1 said the same thing. Potter's safe till the end of the season for me. But if Guardiola is available, Potter can go. Not going to lie. Pep is a different kettle of fish. We would build an empire. He's one of the greatest managers of our generation, if not the, undoubtedly. And and it's like we said, when opportunities like that come, you got to take them. But again, this is just all talk. I don't know if it's actually going to happen. It's just a thought. You know what I mean? Right now, Potter is our manager. I'm going to back the manager as well. He's got to start making right decisions. He's got to start getting 3 points on the board. But yeah, Lewis, I think this stream has come to an end, people. But before you lot leave, you got to smash that like button. You got to leave your thoughts in the comments as well. All of that good stuff, man. Help us on our road to 20k. So subscribe if you are new. Lewis, what have you got coming up, or what have you already got that's up that you'd like the people to see?
Probably gonna stream something tomorrow. Depends on whatever news is out there. If not, might just say fuck it and do a Q&A. But we'll make it up. We'll make it up. I'm trying to keep up this daily streaming thing.
Yeah.
So
Well, if you,
live tomorrow. Check it out, guys.
yep, if you need me tomorrow, Lewis, you know where to find me. Just shout me. I
Oh
should
yeah,
be
yeah, I'll
able
give you
to.
a shout. Yes, keep saying you need to do more 1v1 streams. 100% will do. We'll link up either this week, next week, or something.
You heard it there. You heard it there, people. And to those that are coming to watch after this live stream, let us know your thoughts on whether you feel Graham Potter's job is safe. Do you feel Hansi Flick was just there to be looking at Leno, or do you think there's more to what meets the eye? Man City, let me know your thoughts on the whole Man City situation. Where do you think this could end up? And yeah, as for this channel, tomorrow we will be having the panel on. So it's myself, Lee Gunner, Sam. We'll be having Hamza as well tomorrow. Man City's Hamza will be the special guest for tomorrow. So definitely tune into that. We've also got Alan, who's a Spurs fan. And yeah, many more, many more. So make sure you tune in. That'll be tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. Don't miss that. And yeah, people, smash that like, subscribe. Guni, my G, read my comment out, then I'll smash a like. Well, you got to do it now. You got to do it now, Eaton. So, yeah, man. So, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Gareth Southgate out. Peace out. Love and blessings.